Well, I might be one of the last people to get my reviews out, but at least I got it out. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And this is the first standalone film in Lucasfilm's Star Wars, and Disney's, I guess, Star Wars grand cinematic universe, I guess, of Star Wars films. Um, Hopefully, I didn't mess up this intro. But I will say, you know what, guys? If you are a massive Star Wars fan, I do think you guys are going to enjoy this. This to me was not the best Star Wars movie. I'm going to admit it. Some people are gonna think the way my favorite Star Wars movies are might be a little weird for some because I put Empire Strikes Back as number one. I think everyone will agree with that one. And then I put Revenge of the Sith at number two. And then I have Return of the Jedi at number three. And then I would put Force Awakens at number four and Rogue One at number five. I've seen a lot of reviews where people are saying they like Rogue One more than Force Awakens, but I think I like Force Awakens a little bit more than Rogue One. And that's not to take anything away from Rogue One. I'll get into some of the details as much as I can. I don't want to make this spoiler review. I want people to go see the movie and be surprised by it. But I want to tell you a little bit, as much as I can, on what I thought worked and didn't work. First, let's get into these characters. You know, we have the lead character, Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones. And I thought she was a good character. You know, I think she had a nice little backstory they give us, and her connection to her father, who was taken in by the Empire to help build this Death Star. And that part of the story I really did enjoy. You know, I did like her story with that. I will say, though, I wish they had given us a little bit more, especially on the second half, after she's grown into this character and she's found out a lot throughout the film. I feel like that was it with her, and then she just had this one goal afterwards, and it didn't, for me, help her get more interesting. She was just a good character, you know. I liked her, and there was this other character who seemed like the second lead of the movie, Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna. You know, I thought he was a good character too. He seemed like a little bit Han Solo-ish type. Not quite as good as Han Solo, but he was a good character as well. I liked that he was having a little bit of conflict within him. This definitely is a war movie, where in war, not everything is black and white, and sometimes they have to make these hard decisions throughout the movie. And I like that we got to see a little bit of that, especially with this character. But I wouldn't say those two characters were my favorites. My favorites would be K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk, who I thought maybe out of all the characters was my favorite. And Donnie Yen playing... okay, I can't pronounce that name. But the character that Donnie Yen plays he's not a Jedi, but he's like a Force sensitive character. He can sort of be in touch with the Force, but not fully like a Jedi. I really liked his character. His introduction was pretty badass. You've seen some of the clips in the trailers where he's fighting a bunch of stormtroopers. That was really cool. And all the way at the end, those two characters, K2SO and Donnie Yen's character, those two characters are the ones that I think I was the most invested in, and my only problem with a lot of the characters is that there wasn't a lot of character development with them. We didn't really learn much about them. And I heard there's a novel called Star Wars Catalyst, or Rogue One Catalyst, or something like that. The novel's called Catalyst, and if you read it, apparently it does give you a lot more backstory on these characters, I did download the audiobook, but I haven't gotten around to hearing it all yet. I only got through maybe the first 30 minutes of it. So maybe, yeah, I want to hear the rest of that to see. But for casual movie fans, this is the problem, where if you're going in hoping for some great characters, I don't know if casual movie fans will care too much for these characters at the end. And you have to, especially the way this movie ends, you have to care for these characters. And for all of them, I think it's a hit and miss for some of them. They were fun characters. I really enjoyed a lot of them. I just wish we knew more about them, which is something I think a lot of movies with an ensemble cast have trouble with sometimes. I really did like Ben Middleton as Orson Krennic. I thought he was a good villain. I thought he played it really well. He has this back and forth with one character who's not in the trailers, but he shows up in the movies. If you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. There's like a little rivalry going on, and it's interesting how they bring this character into the films. There are going to be characters that legend characters like Darth Vader and Bail Organa that they've already been shown in clips and trailers that they're in this movie. But there are some other Star Wars characters that are well known that haven't been seen in the trailers, and some of them. I actually read some spoilers on some of the characters that are in this movie, so I kind of heard that this one was here. And when I saw the movie, I actually liked the way this one was portrayed. I thought, some people are complaining about the CGI, because the way they did it was they got an actor to play this character, and they put the original actor's face on this new actor, and some people felt it didn't work. I felt it actually worked quite a bit. I'm not going to be as harsh on it as other people, as long as the story is getting me invested and I enjoy some of the characters that I'm seeing. And I did enjoy those scenes a lot with the Ben Mendelsohn's character and the previous Star Wars character that I'm trying not to spoil. When you go see this movie, you'll know right away who I'm talking about. Yeah, it did look a little CG-ish once in a while, but for what it's worth, I think it worked pretty well. I think this is the best time they used motion capture or the face effect, I guess I should say, because I think it was the actor's actual body, the actor that they hired to play this character, but they just inserted another actor's face over them to make it look like that original actor. And I liked it. And there's another one towards the end too. That is a nice little surprise. That one I felt didn't work as well though at the very end. But I did really appreciate it and understood why it was there. So Darth Vader. I have to get to Darth Vader because he's in the trailer, so it's good to talk about him. I feel like the director and the producers and whoever was in charge of the marketing team, they said, show Darth Vader because we know fans are going to want to talk about this in their non-spoiler reviews. I will say Darth Vader was badass. He's not on screen for too much. He's like, if I had to estimate, maybe 4 or 5 minutes of screen time. But for every second he's on screen, he is effective. He's like in there for maybe 2 or 3 scenes. And I will say that his last scene will make up for his lack of appearance in the movie. If you are a true Star Wars fan, you will love every second of Vader in this movie. So I'll leave it at that. there are a lot of nice Easter eggs for the hardcore fans. If you're somebody that knows this universe inside and out, I think this movie definitely connects to the grand Star Wars universe. Like, if you have seen all 6 films, if you have seen, or 7 films because of The Force Awakens, or if you have seen Star Wars The Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, because Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, was a character in the Clone Wars cartoon. I even went back to watch those episodes because I kind of like vaguely remember. I didn't remember those episodes, and then I watched one episode so far, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's who he's playing. Which, that was one of the things that kind of irked me, because I feel like he was doing this voice in the movie which didn't kind of line up, and it was hard to understand Forrest Whitaker too at times. He was doing this accent that it was in this breathing problem that was kind of hard to make out sometimes what he was saying. I think I followed enough though that I got the main gist of what he was doing in the movie. And other than that, I think he was the character that kind of irked me the most. Not in a bad way, but like, I just wish he didn't do that accent that thick. I'm curious to know what other people think of his character in the movie. And I will say that this movie does tie in really nicely to A New Hope. I think this movie definitely feels like an extension of A New Hope. Like, you can watch this movie right before you watch A New Hope, and then watch A New Hope right after, and it feels like A New Hope just got bigger. I think that's the best way I can put it. Yeah, I like the movie, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I'm even going to give you guys a rating to give you an idea of where I would place this. I would give it an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it could have been better if the characters were given a little bit more time, focused on. I do feel the movie does drag a little bit in some places. The last 40 minutes picks up a little bit more. But for what it's worth, if you are a fan of this franchise, you are going to enjoy it. If you're a newbie, if you're someone that thinks, should I start with this movie? Always start with the original 3. And then check out some of the other films afterwards, because the original 3 are the most popular for a reason. And these other ones are just extra pudding that's being piled up. So I'm going to end this here, guys. I'm going to say, go check out this movie. It's Star Wars. Well, the ones who, And until next time, guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you agree with me if you already saw the film. If you haven't seen the film, hopefully I didn't spoil anything for you guys. And comment below if you have. Tell me what you guys thought. Tell me anything that I might have missed out. And until next time, guys, take care.